The 48 Laws of Power Animated Summary. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Law 1 outline a significant principle about power dynamics and dealing with those in superior positions. It underscores the importance of making those above you feel superior and secure while avoiding actions that might threaten their sense of importance or superiority. It draws examples from historical events involving Louis XIV's finance minister, Fouquet, and his lavish party, as well as Galileo's strategic dedication of his discoveries to his patrons. In both cases, it shows the consequences of inadvertently outshining or challenging the superior's position or ego. The overall essence of the first law is that it emphasized the significance of managing relationships with those in power. It suggests strategies such as discreet flattery, making the superior appear more intelligent or capable, and ensuring that any talent or brilliance doesn't overshadow the superior's position. Instead, the focus should be on elevating the superior's image and making them shine brighter. It also warns against threatening the ego or security of those in power, citing historical examples where individuals who inadvertently outshone or threaten their superiors face severe consequences. The law advocates a strategy of carefully managing one's talents and strengths in the presence of those in superior positions, ensuring that these strengths serve to elevate the superior's status rather than challenge it. Ultimately, it suggests that by making the superior look even more exceptional, one might eventually rise in status and favor. A historical tale of transgression against this law involves Nicolas Fouquet, Louis XIV's finance minister, who aimed to host an extravagant party to celebrate his new chateau and please the king. However, the opulence of the affair, although intended to honor the king, ultimately triggered Louis' jealousy, leading to Fouquet's arrest and an unfair trial, resulting in 20 years of solitary confinement. The lesson is clear: masters desire to feel superior and more brilliant than their subordinates. An example from Galileo's life showcases how he turned a significant discovery into an opportunity by honoring the Medici family with his findings. This strategic choice made the Medici dynasty feel powerful and intellectually superior. It's vital to make your master appear more brilliant, not challenge their authority or overshadow their glory. The narrative emphasizes the danger of inadvertently outshining your master by simply being yourself, which can evoke feelings of insecurity and lead to potential retaliation, as with Louis replacing the dazzling Fouquet with a less threatening counterpart. Masters could become insecure and vengeful if they perceive you as more charismatic or talented. A cautionary example of this is the tragedy involving Prince Astor Manfredi and Cesare Borgia, where Manfredi's natural charm unintentionally incited Borgia's jealousy and ultimately led to Manfredi's demise. To benefit from this law, one must discreetly flatter the master, making them appear more intelligent or powerful than you while controlling and hiding your own talents. Delicately disguising your strengths can prevent triggering their insecurities, ensuring you maintain control and safety. If you're able to make the master appear even more brilliant than you while remaining in control, you'll be a valuable asset and pave the way for promotion and success. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Be careful about companions, use foes, watch out for your companions, they get desirous and will sabotage you. The law highlights the potential benefits of reconciling with enemies and employing them, as they might prove more loyal and dedicated than friends due to a desire to prove themselves. The law revolves around the cautionary tale of Michael III, a Byzantine emperor, and his fatal error in placing excessive trust in his friend, Basilius. It emphasizes the perils of relying too heavily on friends in positions of power and the potential dangers that arise from such relationships. Michael, seeking a loyal and trusted advisor, chose Basilius, a childhood friend, and elevated him to a position of power despite his lack of experience. Over time, Basilius's unquenchable thirst for more power and wealth led him to manipulate and eventually betray Michael, resulting in the emperor's gruesome demise at the hands of his once trusted friend. The law underscores the inherent risks of favoritism and the pitfalls of employing friends in positions of authority. It suggests that friendship and kindness often cloud judgment and lead to a false sense of security, especially when individuals feel entitled to their good fortune rather than genuinely appreciating it. It advises maintaining a certain level of distance and objectivity in professional relationships, emphasizing the need to discern between friendships and work-related associations. Additionally, it highlights the potential benefits of reconciling with enemies and employing them, as they might prove more loyal and dedicated than friends due to a desire to prove themselves. Ultimately, the key lesson is to be cautious about placing excessive trust in friends, maintain a balance between personal relationships and professional decisions, and be open to leveraging former enemies for their potential loyalty and dedication. In the tale of Michael III, a young emperor of the Byzantine Empire, the lesson emphasizes the perils of trusting friends too deeply and advises leveraging former enemies due to their potential loyalty and commitment. Michael assumed the throne at a precarious time, surrounded by treachery and threats. Seeking a loyal counselor, he turned to Basilius, a childhood friend, elevating him to a position of authority despite his lack of experience. Basilius, once a stable groom, rose to power due to his act of saving Michael's life. Overwhelmed by gratitude, Michael showered him with favors and educational opportunities, even marrying him to his mistress to keep him content. However, as Basilius gained influence, his thirst for power grew. Manipulating Michael, he plotted and executed the murder of Michael's uncle, who held a prominent military position, then claimed the role for himself. In time, his financial control and army alliances exceeded even the emperor's. When Michael, facing financial distress, requested repayment of borrowed funds, Basilius refused, signaling his own dominance. Eventually, he orchestrated Michael's demise and proclaimed himself emperor, parading through Byzantium with Michael's head on a pike. The emperor's mistake lay in his belief that Basilius would remain loyal due to gratitude. He had created a power-hungry monster who felt entitled to his position. His blindness to Basilius' ambition led to his downfall, as friendship clouded his judgment. The lesson teaches that employing friends, often obscured by personal emotions, can lead to betrayal. Favors can become oppressive, sparking resentment and a feeling of entitlement. Keeping a professional distance in such relationships is crucial. The key to power lies in discerning the abilities of individuals to serve your interests without emotional attachment. Maintain friendships for their own sake and work with competence and skill, regardless of personal relationships. Utilize former adversaries, as their loyalty might outweigh that of friends. It's essential not to be distressed by the presence of enemies, as they provide clarity in times of uncertainty. Embrace conflict, leveraging enemies to enhance your reputation as a capable, dependable figure in times of turmoil. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. The law elaborates on the strategy of concealing intentions to maintain an upper hand in various situations. It offers historical accounts, particularly emphasizing the importance of hiding one's true goals, using decoys and distractions to mislead others, and creating smokescreens to divert attention from real intentions. The stories of Emperor Michael III and Otto von Bismarck exemplify the perils and benefits of hiding intentions. Michael's fatal mistake was in trusting a friend excessively, while Bismarck strategically misled people by speaking against his true ambitions and supporting actions he detested to secure his position. The law underscores the power of hiding one's intentions and provides advice on how to achieve this, emphasizing the importance of ambiguity, false sincerity, and talking openly about false desires to conceal genuine aims. It also discusses using distractions and smokescreens to keep intentions hidden, drawing from a story of a con artist named Joseph Weil and his use of an inconspicuous facade to deceive a millionaire. Key takeaways include the necessity of concealing intentions to maintain an upper hand, the power of ambiguity and diversion, and the significance of employing ordinary, unremarkable fronts to hide one's true aims. It emphasizes the deceptive potential of false gestures, patterns that mislead expectations, and the subtlety of the inconspicuous that draws people in. The story of Otto von Bismarck in 1850 and Mr. Sam Giesel's encounter in 1910 both reflect the power of concealing intentions to achieve one's goals. It's an art of manipulating appearances and creating smokescreens to distract and mislead. In 1850, Bismarck's public opposition to a war he privately supported was a ruse to gain power. By contradicting his established beliefs and praising the enemy, he convinced the parliament to shift their votes and prevented a war. This unexpected behavior secured his position as a cabinet minister, ultimately aiding his rise to become Prussian premier and fulfill his desire for war and unification. Similarly, in 1910, Giesel, a wealthy man, was roped into a deceitful boxing match by Joseph Weil, known as the Yellow Kid, a notorious con artist. Weil concealed his true intentions by distracting Giesel with a fake story about a lodge sale, leading him to believe he'd make easy money. This shifted Giesel's focus, allowing Weil to orchestrate a fatal boxing scam. The lesson in both instances revolves around concealing intentions using decoys, red herrings, and smokescreens. Bismarck mastered the art of hiding his intentions by using false sincerity to manipulate appearances. By openly denouncing a war he secretly desired, he created a diversion that granted him the power he sought. On the other hand, Weil enticed Giesel with a distracting story, trapping him in a complex con. By keeping Giesel preoccupied with the fake narrative, he slipped his true intentions under the radar, leading to a tragic outcome. The power of concealing intentions lies in making appearances your ally, manipulating familiar surroundings and desires to distract and mislead. Both historical figures demonstrated that mastering the art of deception requires patience, the ability to don an inconspicuous mask, and the skill to distract through carefully placed smoke screens. By misleading opponents, whether through a noble facade or establishing an enticing pattern, the deceiver can guide the victim down a wrong path. It's a reminder that the unremarkable and inconspicuous exterior can be a potent weapon, concealing the true intentions behind an unreadable facade. In the end, it's a balance of tailoring your words, controlling the information you reveal, and manipulating appearances to maintain the upper hand. By obscuring your real goals and distracting with apparent desires, you gain the power to shape events without arousing suspicion. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. The law emphasizes the power of speaking less to maintain an air of authority and control. It offers an example from the court of Louis XIV, where the king's minimalistic approach to conversation and decision-making instilled a sense of ambiguity and unpredictability. His phrase "I shall see" became a tool of avoidance, leaving petitioners without a clear answer and rendering them vulnerable in their assumptions. Louis XIV shifted from being talkative in his youth to becoming taciturn deliberately, using his silence as a shield to keep his subjects off balance. By keeping his thoughts and intentions opaque, he prevented others from second-guessing his desires and ideas. His silence compelled people to reveal more about themselves in their attempt to gain insight, information he could then use to his advantage. The text's core lesson revolves around the idea that speaking less not only maintains an air of mystery and authority but also puts others in a position of discomfort and uncertainty. Your silence forces them to fill the gaps, often revealing their vulnerabilities and thoughts, leaving them feeling unsettled and pensive about your every word. The story of Louis XIV, the Sun King, highlights the power of saying little and maintaining an enigmatic aura. In the French court, debates were common, and nobles would deliberate issues endlessly, each striving to influence the king. However, Louis had a different approach. When presented with matters, he listened silently, providing minimal feedback, often ending discussions with his signature phrase, "I shall see." Initially, Louis was quite the opposite, known for his verbose nature. However, he evolved to maintain a mysterious silence to mask his true thoughts and keep his subjects off balance. This deliberate withholding of opinions prevented anyone from predicting his reactions or deceiving him. People, eager to fill the silence, ended up revealing more about themselves, details Louis later used to his advantage. By speaking sparingly, Louis instilled fear and uncertainty, a tactic that solidified his power. His silence made people uncomfortable, causing them to divulge their thoughts and vulnerabilities, amplifying his control. As Saint-Simon wrote, Louis understood the value of words, smiles, and glances, using scarcity to magnify his authority. The underlying lesson is that by saying less, you wield more power. Human nature compels individuals to interpret and explain, making them uncomfortable with silence. Your controlled responses and quiet moments will force others to fill the void with revealing comments, exposing their vulnerabilities. After a meeting where you've said very little, people will leave, haunted by your every word. Their attention to your brief comments will enhance your authority and influence. When less is said, every word gains significance and further solidifies your power. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. This text is packed with wisdom about the power of reputation, the necessity of standing out to attract attention, and the allure of mystery. It's threaded with stories from history, such as the tale of Chugga Liang, illustrating how reputation and perception can impact one's power and influence. The story of P.T. Barnum and Mata Hari further illustrates the importance of courting attention through controversy, scandal, and an air of mystery. Ultimately, the text emphasizes the need to carefully craft and protect one's reputation while also embracing the art of standing out and captivating attention through an air of enigmatic allure. Amidst the tumultuous War of the Three Kingdoms in ancient China, the saga of General Chugga Liang, known as the Sleeping Dragon, vividly demonstrates the power of reputation in the realm of power. One remarkable incident unfolds a remarkable strategy employed by Liang when faced with a seemingly insurmountable adversary. As Liang took respite in a small town with just a handful of soldiers, news of an approaching force of over 150,000 troops led by Sima Yi sent alarm through his camp. Seemingly outnumbered and outmaneuvered, Chugga Liang chose a bold, counterintuitive approach. Rather than fortifying his defenses, he ordered his troops to dismantle their flags, open the city gates, and conceal themselves. Liang himself perched upon the city wall, draped in Taoist robes, strumming his lute, and chanting. His performance continued as the vast enemy army approached, pretending not to notice them. Sima Yi, the enemy leader, recognized Liang but found the situation confounding. The chants, the Taoist attire, and the atmosphere appeared as a grand act of intimidation. Despite his soldiers itching to enter the unguarded city through its open gates, Sima Yi hesitated, ultimately ordering a swift retreat. The power of Chugga Liang's reputation as a cunning and formidable strategist proved mightier than any conventional defense, intimidating the enemy without engaging in battle. This incident was just one testament to Chugga Liang's legacy as a master strategist. Recognizing a false deserter and turning him into a double agent, Liang manipulated information to win battles. His reputation, carefully cultivated as the cleverest mind in China, inspired fear in his enemies. The story emphasizes the impact of reputation in the intricate game of appearances and social judgment. It cautions about the dangers of a single misstep or change in appearance, emphasizing the importance of crafting and preserving a reputation of your own creation. A reputation not only shields one's true character from prying eyes but also wields a magical power, doubling one's strength or driving people away based on perceptions. Establishing a reputation for one outstanding quality and gradually building it while protecting against attacks is pivotal. Reacting to slanderous comments defensively or aggressively can compromise one's reputation. Attacking another's reputation is a potent weapon, particularly when one has less power, but it necessitates skill and must not appear as petty vengeance to avoid inadvertent self-harm. The story unveils the intricacies of reputation as a tool of immense power, guiding one to navigate the social realm while controlling how the world perceives and judges them. And the world of power, P.T. Barnum, a visionary showman, demonstrated the pivotal significance of courting attention to seize the spotlight. His quest for notoriety and adulation spawned creative tactics that captivated the masses. Barnum's early journey into fame saw him masquerading as the infamous Reverend Ephraim K. Avery to provoke a town's curiosity. This stunt, engineered by his boss, attracted masses to the circus and set the stage for Barnum's growing recognition. His strategies for attention knew no bounds, even employing a bricklayer to create a spectacle by mysteriously replacing bricks along a set path in the city, drawing thousands into his museum. Barnum's flair for controversy and enigmatic displays, like showcasing subpar musicians under a banner of free music for the millions, diverted crowds into his museum, proving that quality of attention was irrelevant. His belief that any attention, regardless of its nature, served as the seed of success was unwavering. From anonymously praising his work to intentionally inviting harsh criticism, every eye cast on him fueled his ascent. The second part of the story unfurls the enigmatic figure of Mata Hari, a character deliberately shrouded in mystery. Her captivating allure and invented origins as a dancer from the Far East lured Paris into a mesmerized trance. Through elaborate performances and ever-changing stories about her heritage, Mata Hari artfully seduced her audience, leaving them entranced by her every move. This air of mystery made her an enigmatic figure, casting a spell over the city. However, behind the allure lay a simple truth: Mata Hari's real identity was far from the exotic, imagined persona she had cultivated. Margaret Zell, a woman from Holland, portrayed herself as a mysterious enigma and captivated Europe with her fabricated tale. The story illuminates the irresistible power of mystery in a world that craves the unknown. Mystery entices, inviting interpretations, captivating imaginations, and retaining an air of the undiscovered. Mata Hari's success wasn't due to extraordinary beauty or exceptional dancing, rather, it was her artful weaving of an enigmatic presence that entranced her audience. Creating an aura of mystery doesn't necessarily demand grandeur, subtlety and occasional inconsistency weave a powerful web of intrigue. Deliberate ambiguity, occasional silence, and calculated oddities draw attention and compel others to interpret and revere the enigmatic figure. Great leaders wield mystery to their advantage, garnering attention, infusing an aura of intimidation, and controlling interpretations. By contrasting expected behavior, keeping a subtle yet constant aura of mystery, one retains power and intrigue over others. This dance of enigma and subtlety not only draws attention but confounds and captivates the observer. To maintain a position of power, one must occasionally deviate from the expected, remaining elusive and compelling in a world that craves the tantalizing veil of the unknown. In The Journey of Power, the story of Nikola Tesla and his encounters with Thomas Edison illuminate the law of getting others to do the work for you while you take the credit. Tesla, a brilliant inventor, dedicated his time and expertise to improve the primitive Edison dynamos. When his tireless efforts resulted in a greatly enhanced version, Edison claimed credit for the improvement while offering Tesla a paltry raise instead of the promised compensation. Refusing to support Tesla's pursuit of an alternating current, AC, system, Edison not only thwarted but later sabotaged Tesla's work, leading him to seek help from George Westinghouse. With Westinghouse's backing, Tesla developed the AC system, but his patents were challenged by other scientists, and the credit for the invention shifted to Westinghouse. Despite his groundbreaking work in inventing the induction motor, AC power system, and contributions to radio, Tesla remained unrecognized and suffered the loss of his patents and financial rewards. Contrasting Tesla's plight was Edison, a shrewd businessman who recognized the power of taking credit for others' work. Edison was known to hire the best minds and use their discoveries to further his reputation, even if he wasn't the scientific mastermind. His approach to success was rooted in employing the expertise of others while stamping his name on their work. The tale reveals the necessity of securing credit for one's creations and ensuring that hard-earned achievements are not pilfered or attributed to others. Vigilance and strategic planning to safeguard one's creations until the right moment are paramount. The law emphasizes the importance of conserving one's energy and time by capitalizing on the skills and creativity of others. Rather than trying to accomplish everything alone, aligning with individuals possessing the needed skills and then putting your name atop their accomplishments ensures a portrayal of genius and strength. In essence, the law underscores the strategic maneuver of leveraging the work of others to bolster one's reputation and influence while minimizing personal efforts. The ability to adapt and utilize the work of those around you ensures a godlike aura of efficiency and power. Law 6, Court attention at all costs. This law is a guide to the power of appearance, attention, and mystery in creating influence. It uses stories from P.T. Barnum and Mata Hari to illustrate the impact of notoriety, controversy, and an enigmatic presence in drawing attention and maintaining a powerful position. It emphasizes the necessity of standing out, being conspicuous, and creating an air of mystery to captivate an audience and maintain attention. Ultimately, it advocates for carefully curating one's public image to create a sense of allure and mystery that both attracts and intimidates, thus securing a position of power and influence. In the world of power, P.T. Barnum, a visionary showman, demonstrated the pivotal significance of courting attention to seize the spotlight. His quest for notoriety and adulation spawned creative tactics that captivated the masses. Barnum's early journey into fame saw him masquerading as the infamous Reverend Ephraim K. Avery to provoke a town's curiosity. This stunt, engineered by his boss, attracted masses to the circus and set the stage for Barnum's growing recognition. His strategies for attention knew no bounds, even employing a bricklayer to create a spectacle by mysteriously replacing bricks along a set path in the city, drawing thousands into his museum. Barnum's flair for controversy and enigmatic displays, like showcasing subpar musicians under a banner of free music for the millions, diverted crowds into his museum, proving that quality of attention was irrelevant. His belief that any attention, regardless of its nature, served as the seat of success was unwavering. From anonymously praising his work to intentionally inviting harsh criticism, every eye cast on him fueled his ascent. The second part of the story unfurls the enigmatic figure of Mata Hari, a character deliberately shrouded in mystery. Her captivating allure and invented origins as a dancer from the Far East lured Paris into a mesmerized trance. Through elaborate performances and ever-changing stories about her heritage, Mata Hari artfully seduced her audience, leaving them entranced by her every move. This air of mystery made her an enigmatic figure, casting a spell over the city. However, behind the allure lay a simple truth: Mata Hari's real identity was far from the exotic, imagined persona she had cultivated. Margaret Zell, a woman from Holland, portrayed herself as a mysterious enigma and captivated Europe with her fabricated tale. The story illuminates the irresistible power of mystery in a world that craves the unknown. Mystery entices, inviting interpretations, captivating imaginations, and retaining an air of the undiscovered. Mata Hari's success wasn't due to extraordinary beauty or exceptional dancing, rather, it was her artful weaving of an enigmatic presence that entranced her audience. Creating an aura of mystery doesn't necessarily demand grandeur. Subtlety and occasional inconsistency weave a powerful web of intrigue. Deliberate ambiguity, occasional silence, and calculated oddities draw attention and compel others to interpret and revere the enigmatic figure. Great leaders wield mystery to their advantage, garnering attention, infusing an aura of intimidation, and controlling interpretations. By contrasting expected behavior, keeping a subtle yet constant aura of mystery, one retains power and intrigue over others. This dance of enigma and subtlety not only draws attention but confounds and captivates the observer. To maintain a position of power, one must occasionally deviate from the expected, remaining elusive and compelling in a world that craves the tantalizing veil of the unknown. Law 7: Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. This text serves as a lesson on the importance of securing credit for one's work and leveraging the efforts and knowledge of others to advance personal interests. It uses the story of Nikola Tesla, who, despite his groundbreaking inventions, lost credit, money, and recognition due to his naivety and a lack of strategic maneuvering. In contrast, figures like Edison and Marconi capitalized on Tesla's work, securing their places in history. The text advises to be ruthless in protecting credit and employing the efforts of others to advance personal goals. It highlights the significance of securing recognition for one's work and taking advantage of the efforts of others to bolster one's own position. In The Journey of Power, the story of Nikola Tesla and his encounters with Thomas Edison illuminate the law of getting others to do the work for you while you take the credit. Tesla, a brilliant inventor, dedicated his time and expertise to improve the primitive Edison dynamos. When his tireless efforts resulted in a greatly enhanced version, Edison claimed credit for the improvement while offering Tesla a paltry raise instead of the promised compensation. Refusing to support Tesla's pursuit of an alternating current, AC, system, Edison not only thwarted but later sabotaged Tesla's work, leading him to seek help from George Westinghouse. With Westinghouse's backing, Tesla developed the AC system, but his patents were challenged by other scientists, and the credit for the invention shifted to Westinghouse. Despite his groundbreaking work in inventing the induction motor, AC power system, and contributions to radio, Tesla remained unrecognized and suffered the loss of his patents and financial rewards. Contrasting Tesla's plight was Edison, a shrewd businessman who recognized the power of taking credit for others' work. Edison was known to hire the best minds and use their discoveries to further his reputation, even if he wasn't the scientific mastermind. His approach to success was rooted in employing the expertise of others while stamping his name on their work. The tale reveals the necessity of securing credit for one's creations and ensuring that hard-earned achievements are not pilfered or attributed to others. Vigilance and strategic planning to safeguard one's creations until the right moment are paramount. The law emphasizes the importance of conserving one's energy and time by capitalizing on the skills and creativity of others. Rather than trying to accomplish everything alone, aligning with individuals possessing the needed skills and then putting your name atop their accomplishments ensures a portrayal of genius and strength. In essence, the law underscores the strategic maneuver of leveraging the work of others to bolster one's reputation and influence while minimizing personal efforts. The ability to adapt and utilize the work of those around you ensures a godlike aura of efficiency and power. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. The law details the tale of Napoleon's fall and rise to power, highlighting the strategic art of luring opponents into a situation where they feel in control. Despite Napoleon's imprisonment, his escape and return to France were orchestrated by his former minister, Talleyrand, to crush the emperor once and for all. It underscores the concept that aggressive, immediate action isn't always the most effective. The true essence of power lies in making others react to your moves, keeping your opponent on the defensive. This approach, rather than impulsive aggression, ensures a position of control. The narrative serves as a lesson, emphasizing the significance of mastering emotions and manipulating opponents into a false sense of control. It asserts that provoking opponents to react emotionally creates an illusion of dominance while quietly guiding events and adversaries. The Congress of Vienna in 1814 was a stage where European powers sought to rearrange the aftermath of Napoleon's fall. Amidst the glittering balls and high stakes, the shadow of Napoleon cast an uneasy atmosphere. Exiled to the island of Elba, he was a constant reminder of potential unrest. While the statesmen were anxious, the emperor's former minister, Talleyrand, seemed notably composed, hinting at a different understanding. Despite the humiliating conditions in Elba, a dramatic escape unfolded when Napoleon, surrounded by British ships, managed a bold getaway. The surprising act astonished Europe and terrorized the Congress. Returning to France, Napoleon cleverly mobilized support, reclaiming the throne in a stunning reversal. But his triumph was fleeting, as his eventual defeat at the Battle of Waterloo led to exile on the island of St. Helena. However, the whole escape was orchestrated by a man behind the scenes, Talleyrand. By baiting Napoleon into returning to power, he eventually led to Napoleon's defeat. The clever minister, perceiving Napoleon's ambition as a threat to European stability, manipulated events and powers to ensure the emperor's downfall. The text advises on the power of making others come to you rather than pursuing aggressive action. It highlights the importance of staying calm, laying traps, and making others react to your moves, granting control and power. This way of influencing events and people is a subtler but potent form of manipulation, granting the illusion of control to the opponent while subtly guiding the course of events. Law 9: Win through your actions. Never through arguments. Based on the story from 1502 in Florence, Italy, demonstrates the power of actions over arguments. In Florence, Italy, a block of marble marred by a sculptor's mistake lay abandoned until Michelangelo proposed to shape it into a sculpture of young David with a sling. Initially criticized by Pietro Soderini for the statue's nose being too big, Michelangelo, aware of the consequences of argument, offered a brilliant demonstration. Inviting Soderini to view the nose closely, Michelangelo cleverly scattered marble dust without altering the nose. Soderini, believing it improved, praised the change. The story embodies the power of actions over words. Michelangelo avoided direct argument, knowing it might offend his patron and jeopardize future commissions. His demonstration changed Soderini's perspective without altering the statue, proving that actions can achieve more without causing offense. The narrative highlights the double power of winning through actions rather than arguments. Words often create doubts and offense, while actions leave a visible, indisputable impact. It emphasizes the long-term effect of actions over the fleeting nature of words in persuading and proving a point. The story from 1502 in Florence, Italy, demonstrates the power of actions over arguments. Michelangelo, working on a previously ruined marble block, avoided directly challenging Soderini's opinion about the stone's salvageability. Michelangelo sculpted a magnificent piece from it, incorporating the damage into the design without debating Soderini's doubts. When Soderini criticized the statue's nose as too big, Michelangelo quietly led him up a scaffold to seemingly adjust it without actually making any changes. Soderini praised the now better nose, and Michelangelo's silent demonstration proved his point without causing offense. This illustrates that actions are more effective and less likely to cause resentment than arguments. Verbal disputes can leave lasting ill will and uncertainties about their impact, but tangible actions provide undeniable proof. In the realm of power, long-term effects of actions on others are crucial, showing the double power of conveying a point through actions rather than arguments. Balthazar Gracian's adage rings true: the truth is generally seen, rarely heard. Law 10: Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. The cautionary tale of Lola Montez in Limerick, Ireland in 1818 illustrates the infectious nature of emotional states. Lola's life was entangled in a series of events involving prominent men, causing chaos and tragedy in her wake. Attracting lovers with her allure, Lola's impact went beyond the sexual, capturing men in the maelstrom of her unstable character. As those close to her were drawn into her problems, they found themselves embroiled in conflicts and chaos, experiencing the intense emotional roller coaster she perpetuated. Their attempts to help only entangled them further. The lesson learned is clear: when in the presence of such infectious personalities, avoid entanglement at all costs. Don't argue, try to help, or introduce such characters to friends, it'll only lead to entrapment. Those genuinely beset by unfortunate circumstances deserve sympathy, but associating with those who draw misfortune upon themselves can result in others being swept into their turmoil. In the game of power, association with such personalities is fraught with risk and could lead to detrimental consequences. Top of form. Transgression of the law in Limerick, Ireland, 1818. Marie Gilbert, adopting the name Lola Montez, aspired to elevate her career as a dancer and performer. Her association with Alexander de Gerry, a renowned figure in Parisian society, reignited her fading career. However, their relationship led to a tragic end with Gerry's demise in a duel. Undeterred, Montez ventured to Munich, aiming to captivate King Ludwig of Bavaria. Her association with Count Otto von Rechberg provided her an audience with the king, but a scandalous incident, involving her sudden exposure in front of the king, triggered an influential relationship with Ludwig, which ultimately led to societal chaos and his eventual abdication. Montez's influence was evident as she held sway over Ludwig, leading to political entanglements and civil unrest. Her actions incited a fervor against the king, culminating in his abdication. After moving to England, Montez's tumultuous life continued, entwined in legal and social complications. The story of Montez serves as a stark lesson in the dangers of associating with individuals who unknowingly infect others with their instability and misfortune. The emotive force Montez wielded over her partners led to their entanglement in her tumultuous life. The story elucidates the perils of being ensnared by such personalities and highlights the importance of avoiding association with such individuals, particularly in the complex game of power. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. The law advises on the importance of keeping people dependent on you to maintain independence and power. The example of Otto von Bismarck's political maneuvers in Prussia serves as a case study. Despite initially aligning himself with a weak and indecisive king, Bismarck's relentless support and manipulation of the king's insecurities led to his appointment as a minister and, eventually, prime minister. Bismarck understood the dynamics of power. By making the king dependent on him, he gained the ability to influence policy and decisions. Even when the new king disliked Bismarck, he recognized his own vulnerability and yielded to Bismarck's strong-arm tactics. The relationship of dependence allowed Bismarck to unite the German states and orchestrate the king's coronation as the Emperor of Germany. The text emphasizes that ultimate power lies in the ability to get people to willingly grant what you desire. Establishing a relationship of dependence, where others require your services and find it challenging to replace you, provides leverage to make them do as you wish. It challenges the notion that independence is the pinnacle of power, asserting that power involves relationships with others. The warning is issued against expecting love or affection from those who depend on you. Instead, the text suggests that instilling fear is more effective in maintaining control. Fear can be controlled, while love is considered unpredictable. The ultimate goal is to have others depend on you due to the fear of consequences if they lose you, providing a form of reverse independence where their need for you lessens your dependence on them. Learn the art of maintaining independence through strategic dependence. A case study featuring Otto von Bismarck illustrates the power of aligning with those in need. In 1847, Bismarck, a deputy in the Prussian parliament, chose an unlikely ally, King Frederick William IV, a weak and indecisive ruler often swayed by liberals. Despite others criticizing the king, Bismarck consistently supported him, resulting in his appointment as a minister in 1851. Bismarck, aware of the king's insecurities, manipulated him to build military strength and regain power, making Prussia a dominant force. When Frederick died in 1861, Bismarck maintained his influence by standing by the new king, William, who disliked him. However, William, facing numerous enemies, became dependent on Bismarck's tactics for survival. This led to Bismarck becoming prime minister, and his conservative policies eventually united various German states into one country. Bismarck's ability to make the king dependent showcases the ultimate power, influencing others willingly. The text encourages creating relationships of dependence, where others rely on your services. This dynamic ensures you have the upper hand, akin to the person behind the throne controlling the king. The narrative discourages the misconception that ultimate power is independence, emphasizing the need for relationships with allies, pawns, or even weak masters who serve as a front. The text warns against expecting love from those dependent on you. Instead, it promotes being feared, as fear can be controlled, unlike love. Dependence rooted in fear of consequences is deemed more secure than reliance on emotions like love or friendship, which can be fickle and lead to insecurity. The ultimate goal is to have others so dependent that you enjoy a reverse independence, where their need for you lessens your dependence on them. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. The law says, utilize selective honesty and generosity to disarm and manipulate others. The story of Count Victor Lustig, a skilled con artist, exemplifies this strategy. In 1926, Lustig approached the feared gangster Al Capone, proposing to double $50,000. Capone, intrigued by Lustig's apparent honesty, handed over the money. After 2 months, Lustig returned, admitting failure, but returned the full amount. Capone, astonished by Lustig's honesty, even rewarded him with an additional $5,000. Interpretation: Lustig, a master con artist, understood the psychology of his targets. He employed selective honesty, catching Capone off guard and disarming his suspicions. Lustig's audacity and understanding of human psychology allowed him to manipulate even the most cynical individuals. The tactic involved distracting targets through unexpected acts of sincerity and generosity, turning them into more receptive and trusting subjects. Keys to power: the essence lies in distraction, using acts of kindness or honesty to divert attention and create a positive impression. This approach, known as giving before you take, softens resistance and makes future requests less objectionable. Selective honesty is particularly potent during initial encounters, as first impressions tend to last. Establishing a reputation for honesty over time enhances the effectiveness of this strategy. Additionally, selective kindness can break down resistance, appealing to emotions and potentially turning adversaries into more compliant individuals. Caution is crucial, as insincerity can lead to severe consequences if exposed. Master the art of selective honesty and generosity to disarm those you aim to manipulate. In the tale of Count Victor Lustig and Al Capone, Lustig, a cunning con artist, employed these tactics to perfection. Lustig, fluent in several languages and well-versed in human psychology, understood the power of a well-timed display of sincerity and honesty. Approaching Capone in 1926, Lustig proposed doubling $50,000 with an air of sophistication. Capone, typically distrustful, was intrigued by Lustig's demeanor and decided to engage in the scheme. Despite Capone's expectations of a grand payout, Lustig vanished, leaving the money untouched in a safe deposit box. When Lustig returned, he admitted failure but astounded Capone by returning the full amount, claiming his genuine regret. Interpretation: Lustig's audacious use of selective honesty targeted Capone's vulnerability. Capone, surrounded by dishonesty, longed for a genuine gesture. Lustig's unexpected honesty disarmed Capone, leaving him confused and ultimately rewarding Lustig with an additional $5,000. Keys to power: the essence lies in distraction. Selective acts of kindness, generosity, or honesty divert attention, disarming suspicions, and creating a positive image. This approach, known as giving before you take, softens resistance, making future requests more acceptable. Selective honesty, especially during initial encounters, establishes a lasting impression. Building a reputation for honesty through a series of inconsequential acts enhances its effectiveness. Additionally, employing selective kindness can break down even the most resistant adversaries. However, caution is paramount, as insincerity may lead to severe consequences if exposed.